Oh God. Oh my days. It's been some very long, past 12 hours. I still haven't got a clue of what happened yesterday. I still believe, and I still, hand on heart, truly believe that was paranormal activity. I am definitely more lucid now. I rewatched the game, I rewatched that moment, and I still can't explain it. And yeah, we've built a very good reputation. We're now the team which missed three penalties in one to the world, which is great. We got memed absolutely everywhere this morning. Everywhere, every single where we got memed. And to be honest with you, we deserve it because, as I said, these things only happen to us. These things only happen to this football club. There is no other football club that gets touched by these inner possessions more than us. And this is definitely a more lucid reaction. I've got points to make. I want to speak about the current problem at AS Roma. I want to speak about our striker crisis. I want to mention a few points because, look, we might be first in the Serie A, but we definitely don't deserve it. And I think too many people have been illusioned in a negative way, actually in a positive way, I might say. Too many people, and I said this before the Lille game, in the Verona match reaction, don't look at the league table because that league table is not true. We don't know ourselves how we're basically same points as Milan and Napoli. It is all because of luck, and I'll be honest with you, it is all because of luck. The second the bar raises, the second we face an organized opponent, we literally get sent to an asylum. And that's where the issue lays. There are problems. This is not an exaggeration. If you didn't see these problems coming with the appointment of this manager, then you're absolutely crazy and you've never seen this manager before. We predicted all of this. If you're surprised by this, in fact, you know what you should be surprised about? You should be surprised not that we're a very inconsistent team up to now, and that we're having ups and downs with results, but you should be surprised at the fact that we're actually first in the league. Because if you think and if you thought that we would have started like this, like this, downhill, then you really have never seen this manager before. I will say it now. Anyone who is bringing about all that defeatism after yesterday's game, I can understand the frustration. I can understand it after yesterday's game. If you're not frustrated after yesterday's game, you will never be frustrated in life. And if you didn't get frustrated after yesterday's game, I applaud you because yesterday's game is what I imagine hell. But all this defeatism that I'm seeing around now is just, I will say it again, the reason as to why we will win nothing. Us, because I am included in in the category of Roma fans. We're not rational. There is nothing humankind can do. Roma fans cannot be rational. Roma fans cannot be patient. Of course, there are limits of patience. If you get three penalties and miss them all, then you lose patience, of course. But I've already seen after yesterday's game, because of the moment, because of how the defeat came, people go, what is this manager doing? This manager doesn't know what to do. This manager is clueless. Who's clueless here is you. This manager, I will put my face and say it now, if we back him properly, it will be the manager of our next Scudetto. I am putting, this is going to get severely clipped, but I'm going to put my balls and face and confirm this statement. If this manager gets backed, this manager will win us the league. And I'm convinced about this. This manager is the correct solution. This manager is the correct man. But if you think this team is good enough, then you're crazy. I've been saying this since the day the transfer market ended, if this team, according to a lot of people, has an obligation, as you say, to get top four, then I'm sorry, but you're past it. How is this team obligated to get top four when literally for the past 3 games our man of the match was our goalkeeper? How does a team work if every single game the man of the match is the goalkeeper? There are problems, and I would like to sit down and speak about these problems. But I would like to sit down and speak about these problems being rational, not being that Delulu fan. Again, if you watched yesterday's match reaction, you probably go, you're delusional. There's a difference. 2 minutes after coming back from the stadium, you're not lucid. I always say this, never take me seriously in match reactions coming from the stadium. Please never do this. Always take me seriously 24 hours after analysing a game. And I recognize this myself. Never in a million years take what I say seriously when I come back from the stadium 5 minutes after I open the door and get back home. The moment you start taking me seriously is analysing it 24 hours after. Okay? Because one thing is doing a match reaction when you're lucid, and one thing is doing a match reaction when you're not lucid, like yesterday. Okay? So, first of all, where are the problems? Actually, base of everything. As of now, we're not playing football. That's the truth, I agree. As of now, we're not playing football. As of now, we are confused. But I say to this confusion, it's normal. It's normal because this manager wants categorically a system of things that these players have never tried before, they've never played before, they've never experimented with before, and they're never seen before. So, to be honest with you, the fact that we're confused at times is not surprising one bit. It's normal, it's natural. Okay? Number one. However, the fact that there were still elements and big elements of confusion 2 months into the season worries me a little bit. Because we've had time. It's very early days into this project. I mean, early days still count after season 1. Even after the end of the season, technically with a manager like Gasperini, it's early days, let alone 2 months into the season. But 2 months into the season, you need to start clicking. Okay, I'm not saying you have to be perfect. We're not perfect. We're far away from it. You can't be perfect. But you need to at least understand what the manager wants. And the problem right now is that we're not understanding how to implement what the manager does. Why? Maybe because some of these players can't do what the manager wants. Good point. Remember when Gasperini this summer insisted in every interview how he needed a left winger? And this board decided not to back him with a left winger? This is the result. Forced to play in a generation of football where literally the most important thing is one-on-ones, dribbling, pace and speed and tempo. We're forced to play in a world of football where that is the number one component in winning teams with Ashrawi as a starting player. So again, people who blame the manager, why are you blaming the manager? The manager wanted a left winger. The board thought it was a good idea to delay this signing to the January window. So, number one, level of incompetency there, unreal. I said this on deadline day. The fact that we didn't manage to sign a left winger is criminal. It's diabolical. It's not even criminal. It's diabolical. Number two, you don't have players. Some of them, yes, but the majority of these players can't keep the intensity that he wants. Okay? So this will be a team that will reach good provisions and good predictions after several transfer sessions. But guys, the number one thing from the transfer session is we've made mistakes. And I'm not trying to be, I'm really not trying to be, I'm not trying to crumble everything down, guys. I'm not. I'm trying to tackle these problems, though, because there are problems. It's not the end of the world. Oh my days, it's not the end of the world, guys. We've gone through Urich. If we manage to survive Urich, we will definitely survive this. Definitely survive this. So please use your heads. Please don't let that paranormal 3 penalty activity change how you think. This will succeed. This project will succeed. But of course, I don't have a glass sphere. I can't tell you when we'll win something, if we will. What I can say is act with what we have right now in front of us. And yes, we're first in the league. Much of that is luck, honesty, key. Number 2, there are problems. And the fact that we're so high up in the league with Napoli and Milan makes us not see these problems. And that's how life works. I don't blame you. If everything goes well, if you're getting good grades at university, if you're very successful in your private life, in your financial life, why do you look at the negatives when everything is going so well? Absolutely. But deep down, there are problems. And after defeats like yesterday, when you got absolutely dominated by Lille and that 3 penalty mistake, then you start to see these problems and you talk about these problems, and it's normal to have problems. So number 1, the absence of a left winger is diabolical. I said this since May. We need a left winger. The priority is a left winger, because now in football you cannot allow yourselves to present in games without somebody with tempo, speed and pace and a good sense of dribbling. You can't. That's what football is only about these days. Why is it that PSG won the Champions League last season? Because their team is built on players which are phenomenally good on one-on-ones. It's not a surprise. It's really not a surprise. Football these days is that. And the fact that you don't have that is one of the problems. Number 2. The problem is strikers. Because if our strikers scored goals, then we would probably be alright. The problem here is that our strikers are living a very, very, very bad moment. And yesterday Ferguson played bad, terrible, but I want to focus on Dovbyk just a second. I rewatched the game, especially those 3 penalties, because I was very curious to see them actually from the television. And even after watching the penalties 24 hours after real time, you knew that Dovbyk was going to miss based on his facial expressions. Dovbyk is traumatized at the fact of playing in this football club. And I'm a very fond believer of that theory. Artem Dovbyk is traumatized at the fact that he is playing badly in a complicated environment like Roma and everybody is rejecting him. He is literally traumatized by this sentence. He's traumatized by the fact that he can make mistakes with us, because he knows that if he makes mistakes, everybody turns on him. The 2 penalties that he took are 2 penalties of a player who isn't confident, especially that second one. That second one is the penalty of a traumatized football player who is scared to repeat the mistake from the penalty twice. Like, it genuinely is that. And another thing about Dovbyk on penalties is that I don't want to doubt his penalty ability, because before these 2 penalties he was actually quite cold on them. But just slam it in. Just slam the fucking ball at the back of the net. Is it really that hard? It's a giant goal with a goalkeeper who, with all due respect, saved everything yesterday, but because the execution was about as useful as my grand's. Just slam it in. What is it with precision penalties? What is it that these players find attractive in trying to guess the side and just passing it in, basically? Would you fucking slam it in? Like, the thing which, and it's not, the thing about the penalties, I'll end the penalty talk, because there's no need to speak about the penalty. That's something that, I mean, I saw it today. There's literally a 1 in a 15 million chance in a football game that three penalties get missed once, like at once for one penalty. Like what happened yesterday is something that if anybody would have placed €1 on it, you would have become a millionaire today. Like I'm not even joking. I searched probabilities up on ChatGPT today. The probability of yesterday's event is equal to 1 in 50 million football matches. Like just to give you a comparison, a commercial plane crash is 1 in 11 million per flight. Getting struck by lightning in your lifetime is 1 in 15,000. Like what happened yesterday, you see what I mean? It's paranormal activity because it's the probability of that is so low that it's never going to happen again. So I don't want to focus on that because it's not going to be a problem. I mean, it is. We have to learn how to take penalties. But the event yesterday is surreal. Like it's why it's memed, because it's so unlikely. The unlikelihood of yesterday is something else. But the issue here is that, you know, just slam it in. There is no need to pass the ball into the net on a penalty. That's something that so many players make as a mistake. But yeah, what I was saying is, he can miss the first one. For missing the first penalty is fine, okay? It's absolutely fine. But a player with bravery, a brave player, after you miss a penalty, having shot it that way, and getting the precious chance of retaking the penalty because of the encroachment from the goalkeeper, at least try something else. No, exactly the same, even worse. And that's the intolerable thing. And when Sule gets it, you're like, now he's going to score. No, even worse. Again, forget about it. What I want to say about Dovbyk is this. Dovbyk is not confident. Ferguson isn't confident. But Ferguson needs to start. Because Dovbyk is gone. We've lost Dovbyk. If we start rotating and putting Ferguson on the bench, as we do with Dovbyk, we're going to be in a situation where we're not going to only lose Dovbyk, but we're also going to lose Ferguson. Before it's too late, you need to start Ferguson and you need to pray that he scores. Because only like that, we avoid him crumbling apart. He has already crumbled apart. Because in game week 1, he was a very different player to what he was yesterday. He's already feeling the pressure. He's already dissolving. So to avoid the other striker dissolving as well, you need to start Ferguson instead of Dovbyk. You need to start him. Because Dovbyk is a lost case. Absolutely lost case. We've lost him completely. Lost him. He's a lamppost. In order to not lose Ferguson, Ferguson needs to start. Because you still have time to manage something with Ferguson. With Dovbyk, no. He gets subbed in and it's like playing with 10 men. And this is no hate. And people say, oh, well, Simo, you have to respect him because his family is at war. No, absolutely disrespect to what is happening in Ukraine. Genuinely no disrespect. Everything, you know me, I don't want to bring politics. There's a war. Rest in peace to everybody who's passed away. Respect to Ukraine. No to war. Absolutely. But that's not an excuse that we can have in football. He's a millionaire. If he's scared and plays football as a professional football player with a constant fear that his family will get bombarded upon, you use your money and you bring your family to Rome. I'm sorry, but the war excuse is not an excuse in the football world. And 1 year after, I still need to hear people who go, Dovbyk is depressed because of the war. He's a fucking millionaire. If he's depressed that his family is about to get bombarded in the war, then spend some money and bring them to Rome. So this is no disrespect to what is happening. I'm just saying it's not an excuse to what is happening. It shouldn't be an excuse in the football world. It shouldn't. He's a professional football player. He's a millionaire. Okay, so if to get Dovbyk back, he needs to bring his family to Rome, away from that situation. He's got the financial means to do that, and maybe it's about time he does it. Okay, there are other people in that area of the world which are in crisis, not Artem Dovbyk. Please, I am so fed up and tired of having to hear every single game that Dovbyk plays shit because he's scared his family is going to die in Ukraine. There are far more important people in that area of the world which live with this constant fear. He's got the financial means, if it really is a big of a stress, to bring his family away from that country. Not to get political, absolutely. Massive respect to Ukraine, no to war. The last thing which I'll say is this. The other reason we're very sterile up front is because Sule and Wesley haven't understood each other. Wesley is a motorcycle. He's technically disgusting because Wesley is technically embarrassing, my friends. But he's a scooter. He's got a big engine in him. He can run. So he's got this ability of running into the box and crossing the ball in. Sule doesn't serve him. Sule doesn't understand him. So this Sule-Wesley connection is not good. It's not good yet. It needs to improve if we want to get the fruits of it. Okay? Guys, that's what I think about the current situation. No defeatism. Please don't be pessimistic. We've lost the game. It's not the end of the world. Yes, the way we lost it is frustrating. Absolutely. What we saw yesterday, we will never see again in our lifetime. But now to all of a sudden question this manager, like, please, we've made this mistake about 100 times and we're still in the same position. Back this man, and there are far more important topics to speak about in that rectangular pitch than the manager being clueless. Please, you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. Please don't fall in that rabbit hole, or you will end up in Alice's Wonderland. Please don't. You're far more smarter than just blaming the manager. There are visible problems at this football club that we can improve, but it takes time, and we have to understand that what this manager wants will take time. Okay, so no defeatism. Game on Sunday, match preview tomorrow, and yeah. What do you think about playing Bailey, Dybala, Sule in one line, putting Sule wider when he prefers, and kind of going with three wingers? I truly believe that Bailey can be the reason, or we can win something this season. Bailey can change our season if he remains fit. Okay, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Hit the like, let me know your comments, and speak to you soon. See you out.